Hello and welcome to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about my favorite movies and shows so far for 2025. We're halfway through 2025 already, which is incredible to think about. It's been such a fast year already. I can't believe we're already halfway there, but I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite movies and shows that I've enjoyed the most this year. Let's get ready. Let's jump in. So first, let's kick things off with some of my favorite movies of this year. These are going to be my top 5 favorite movies this year. I was going to do 10, but I've only seen 11 movies so far this year, so I didn't feel like that was a fair judgment as far as my 10 favorite movies so far this year when you've only seen 11. So that would mean pretty much every movie I've seen this year has been my favorite movie so far this year. So I do have 2 kids now. It's hard for me to get out of the house and go to the movies all that often. So as much as I am a physical and a theater guy when it comes to movies, I do really appreciate what streaming has to offer as far as convenience for me being able to check out more movies that way. So here's my 5 favorite movies so far this year. Kicking things off with number 5, we have Predator, Killer of Killers. This is a streaming exclusive movie on Hulu. I thought this was really great. It's a really neat, interesting new direction for the Predator series to take, being the animated route. The animation was really great. It doesn't shy away from the violence and the action or the world building that the series has kind of come to be known for. It does some new and interesting things and takes advantage of that animation format with an anthology type story, which is really cool. We get to follow 3 separate characters and their individual journeys and experiences and encounters with different types of predators. So I thought that was really cool, really creative way to do something like this. I will say the third story was kind of my least favorite, and I thought was the least consistent as far as the overall cohesive package that we received with this movie. But the way it all ties together in the end with the stories overlapping and intertwining really pays off, and it's really good. I hope we can get more movies in this individual series of Predator, because they definitely leave some Easter eggs for some really interesting new directions. And this has me really excited for the other Predator movie we're getting this year, another follow-up from Dan Trachtenberg in Predator Badlands, and he's the one who did Prey just a couple of years ago. So Predator is on a kind of resurgence that I'm really excited to be a part of. Next, we have The Accountant 2. This is one that I was so happy we finally got this year. The first Accountant movie I thought was such a great one that I always enjoyed from about 10 years ago at this point, and always wanted to see more from the world and that character because I thought it was a really interesting character and a really unique world. So happy we finally got a continuation of that, adding more of John Bernthal and their chemistry. Him and Ben Affleck was really great. They lean into the humor a little bit more on this one. It's not quite an action comedy, but it definitely has some more leanings in that direction. But I think it absolutely works, and it helps their chemistry pay off all that much more. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. This one did recently drop on Prime Video, and that's where I checked it out. So if you want to find it, watch it, that's where you can check it out right now. Next, we have Novocaine. This is another one, I believe this one was on Paramount Plus. I might be wrong on that. Don't mark me on that. But I did really enjoy this one. Jack Quaid is having quite a year so far between this and Companion. Companion was really good too. Didn't crack the top 5 for me. It is one I really enjoyed. I thought it was a cool, fun, original kind of take on something like this. He's someone who can't experience pain, and I kind of turn him into a vigilante superhero to rescue this girl he has a crush on. So really great action sequences, a really fun, quirky character with an interesting type of lifestyle that I think really works for this movie. So I really enjoyed that one. And then coming into the top 2, we have Sinners in the second slot. This will kind of go back and forth with number 1 for me till the end of the year, and then with all the other movies we're going to experience this year as well. But Sinners is incredible. I have a few nitpicks of it along the way. If you want to know what those are, check out my videos or my Letterboxd reviews on them. But I thought this movie was really great. I love it. It's an original story. It's a big, epic kind of scope film. that at the same time feels intimate, but it's a really cool way to explore a period piece type movie with something fantastical like vampires. So really enjoyed it, loved the music of it, the action of it. It's such a well-crafted film. Ludwig Göransson, you need to stop making incredible soundtracks because I can't take it anymore, but also please don't stop because I love it. So Sinners is fantastic. Finally, in number one slot for my favorite movie so far this year, we have Warfare. This is an experience of a movie, and it is an experience of warfare, title plug, that I don't think I've ever experienced in a movie before. It was edge of your seat for an hour and a half. You do not get a chance to breathe. And it's incredibly visceral, realistic, authentic, at least to the best I could understand something like that happening. And it's fantastic. I love the time we get to spend with these characters. It's just very real and authentic. And it's one of the best experiences I've had in a theater this year. So Warfare is so far my favorite film of 2025. Next, moving into the TV shows, I'm not going to trim this one down to like a top 10 or a top 5. These are just what have been my favorite TV shows so far this year. So all of these I have rated a 9 or a 10 out of 10. In no particular order, kicking things off, we have Invincible Season 3. I've been talking about Invincible a little bit recently on the channel, but I think Season 3 is one of the best seasons yet. It might be the best season yet. At this point now, I've finished Book 2, so I know where this story is going as far as the next several seasons or so, but I'm thoroughly enjoying everything about it. We get some new interesting directions, some new characters introduced this season. They continue to somehow up the stakes, and I don't know how they continue to keep doing so, but now I've read further in the source material and I can see how they just keep raising the stakes. But I'm absolutely loving the show. I think the way that it explores what it takes to really be a hero and the challenges that takes to do so in some really cool referential ways to the Marvel worlds and the DC worlds, and taking the tropes of those worlds but exploring them in new and interesting and exciting ways. It's so good. They continue to bring back characters that you love seeing and also hate seeing because they're vile, some of them, but I love what season 3 did, and it's, I think, probably the best season yet. I gave this one a 10 out of 10. I gave this one a 9 out of 10. Next, we have Severance Season 2. This is a show I only just got into this year with the hype that was around Season 2, and I loved Season 1 and absolutely thought Season 2 was incredible. This is one I quickly gave a 10 out of 10. It's such a unique and interesting original story. The way that they explore it from a science fiction point of view is really cool and interesting, but they're just telling an incredible story. There's amazing performances throughout, incredible cinematography. You're constantly guessing where this story could be going, and you really never know what's going to happen next. So I can't wait to continue to see where we're going to go in future seasons of this show. It's been one of my absolute favorite experiences this year. Definitely check out Severance if you've not yet. It alone is worth getting Apple TV Plus for. Next, we have probably one of my favorite anime series, and that is Dr. Stone. We're currently in the final season. The final season, part 2, kicks off in just a couple of weeks, and part 1 was fantastic. I really am excited for the way we've ramped up this show. I think I've talked about it before, that this show does such a good job building on itself as far as the world building, the story development, the way we're continually adding new characters to the story. Everything builds on the last, and the science is such a fun element of the story as well. I can't wait to see how we're going to wrap things up this season. I can't wait for part 2 to come back, but final season part 1 was great, and it was another one I gave a 10 out of 10. My next favorite show this year is definitely Reacher Season 3. I absolutely loved Season 1. That was one that I gave, I believe, a 10 out of 10. I really liked and really thought Season 2 was great. It was a bit of a step down in certain areas, but Season 3 is a return to form and probably the best season we've gotten yet of this show. I thought the story was really cool. The new characters we get introduced to for this specific season were really fun. And the action is easily some of the best action we've seen so far from this show. They really stepped it up as far as the scope and the scale of everything. The fight sequences were absolutely incredible. I can't wait to see where we continue to go with this show. I'm so glad that it continues to get better pretty much with each season. And the fact that we're 3 seasons in and we got what's probably the best season yet has me even more excited for Season 4. Reacher Season 3 is another one I gave a 10 out of 10. Next, jumping into another anime series, we have Solo Leveling Season 2. This has been an absolute joy to experience the past couple of years, so much so that I started reading the manhwa series because I just have to know where we're going next. The story isn't the most prominent thing in this series, but when it comes to the world building, the characters, and the action sequences, everything is turned up to 11. And I absolutely love it for that. It knows exactly what it is and what it's trying to do. And this is just one of the most addictive series that's out there. It's so much fun. It's so bingeable. You just cannot wait to know what's going to come next, where this series is going, how strong is this guy going to get. I can't wait to see what's next. So if you have not jumped on the Solo Leveling train yet, it's been one of my favorite series of the past couple of years, and you definitely want to do that because I gave season 2 another 10 out of 10. Next, we have what was my most anticipated show for this year, probably, and that is Andor Season 2. I loved Andor Season 1 and could not wait to see Season 2 and how it would tie together everything leading up to Rogue One, which is probably my favorite Disney of Star Wars era movie, and they absolutely nailed it. Now, this is one that I had a few issues with the first few episodes in that first arc of season 2, but once things start coming into place, everything kind of locks into gear, and we move into the second half of this season. It's incredible, and it's basically perfection as far as I'm concerned with Star Wars. And if you have not gotten onto this series yet, because I mean, this is one I was skeptical about when they first announced the show, but you got to get on this one, especially if you're a big Star Wars fan and you're like an OG trilogy fan. I think you're going to love this one. I think this is probably the best thing Disney has done with Star Wars. Andor Season 1, Andor Season 2, and Rogue One is basically perfection when it comes to Star Wars as far as I'm concerned. I loved Andor Season 2. Aside from, the first few episodes that kind of took a little bit of time to get going and didn't have the most engaging story, this is where it's at, and I absolutely loved it. It was worth the wait. And then finally, one that I had no idea of, wasn't really on my radar at all, we have The Studio. This is an Apple TV Plus series that I didn't know anything about, and then randomly saw a trailer for it right before it came out and was like, that is right up my alley as far as my interests go. And it's basically a satire of a movie production studio led by Seth Rogen playing, a version of himself. But it's just this stressful, anxiety-ridden, absolutely hilarious series about him moving into the position of the head of a studio, wanting to find that balance of making movies that are both successful and artistic, and doing everything he can to try and make that happen while absolutely crashing and burning at the same time. It's a thrilling, really fun, really entertaining show. The cinematography is incredible. Every episode is basically shot in tracking oneers, which is incredible. There's cuts here and there, but every scene within every episode is pretty much shot as a oneer, and it's so much fun to watch. It adds to the anxiety and the stress of everything going on. So if you're into filmmaking and the behind the scenes that goes into that, you're absolutely going to love this show just like I did. I don't think the season finale quite stuck the landing as much as I wanted it to, but it doesn't detract from anything of the rest of the series at all. So this has been one of the biggest surprises and one of my favorite shows from this past year. Another one I gave a 9 out of 10. So thank you for sticking around to the end of this video. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite movies and shows have been this year. It's been a really strong year so far, so there's a lot of great stuff to talk about and share about. I will see you in the next video.